What's up, guys? I'm Zach, the PT with the Health Dudes.
I'm Easy Wins Mitch. Room.
Gotcha. Episode 11.
Another Saturday.
And it was a banger.
Circuit day.
Yeah, we went through, basically we came in 4 different circuits. We did 3 kind of strength type circuits, 2 rounds for each one, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 4 different exercises per circuit. And then we went to the finisher at the end where we did 1 minute on, 10 seconds off, and that was tough. What did they say?
I said Zach jumped on here online.
Oh, nice.
We just had someone from Instagram hit us up, lives out here, good dude, Zach Schaefer. Schaefer Zach is his handle. Came and worked out with us, and we put him through a circuit.
Yep.
And it was tough.
It was tough. And we almost died. And so basically, what we're trying to test is some of these circuits out. And I guess this will be breaking news, but we're trying to host a charity boot camp.
We're not trying to.
Yeah, we're going to be hosting a charity boot camp at Aspire Athletics out here in Seattle off Aurora. And so that'll be in a few weeks, and we're going to kind of drop the full information on that later on. So that'll kind of be coming down the pipe for everybody who wants to come out and work out and kind of go through some circuits and do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
we were just basically testing out like what is good, what works, what is way too hard.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and glad we could have Zach come out to be a guinea pig for it.
Yeah, it's always good. So we've got, basically we're gonna go in on 3 different topics today. That's kind of our thing we're doing now. And so how should we start it off?
Well, number 1, we'll start off with, it was funny that Zach brought this up because it's been my thing for a while. That's not like my thing. I'm just saying it's something that has helped me for a while now. And I mean, I talk about it in the podcast. I always ask, what is someone's morning routine?
Yeah. So
So it's really cool to see Zach, who is benefiting a lot from it. So kind of talk about where you were at first, and how it's helped you.
So let's clarify. So everybody's probably got a morning routine because you always probably do things the same way because we have a lot of automaticity to our, like we like to do the same thing. Like, you know, you always probably get dressed in the same order. You always probably shower in the same order. So, you know, you have the routine, but what is your routine? So before I was kind of waking up.
Talk about how your before routine was. I'll talk about how my before routine was.
Okay, so my before routine was, I had to work at 7:30, so I would wake up, or I'd set my alarm at 6, and I'd probably snooze till like almost 6:20, 6:30, and then I would rush up out of bed, jump in the shower, do that really quick, get dressed, be eating my breakfast while I was making my lunch, and trying to pack my stuff, and I'd be out the door. So it was like this really fast routine. I felt super rushed every morning, and so it was just like kind of like dreading getting out of bed and then like rushing through the whole thing.
Yep. And I mean, that was about the same as mine.
Yeah.
Mine was literally, I was like, I wouldn't even shower in the morning. I was like, how can I condense this to where I can sleep as long as possible? So I would literally wake up, go brush my teeth, put on my clothes, and leave. So I was waking, if I had to be out the door at 7:15, I would wake up at 7. And what do you think that turned into? Turned into a lot of times me being late.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember in high school, God, I don't think I was ever on time for class. Going to work after college then, I was like, I could barely get to work on time. And then, what do you think I was like when I got there?
Yeah.
You know, you think I was like ready to go, like productive as hell? Like, not even close.
Well, and the thing that I was doing too was I was probably sleeping 8 to 9 hours, like somewhere in that range, which that sounds good, but we'll kind of talk about now what my routine is now and kind of what my mindset was to kind of decreasing that sleep. So basically what I did was I tried to cut my sleep down, and that sounds crazy to some of you guys, but like I feel like I'm not like one of those people that really enjoys sleeping. And I guess like if you enjoy sleeping, I don't even really know what that means because you don't know what's going on, I guess. But like, so I cut it down to like 6.5 hours so I could have that extra time. And I decided to put that into my mornings. So now what I do is I wake up at about 4:40 in the morning when I have to go to work or 4:30, and I have to go to work at 7:30. So now I'm trying to wake up 2 to 3 hours before my first work-related duty so that I have time to kind of get my things in order. So now what I do is I wake up and I immediately get up, and I don't really do the snoozing thing anymore. I grab a bottle of water, head out the door, and I actually go on a walk in the morning with my wife, and we'll go just kind of like probably a half a mile to a mile just to get outside, just to get out and move. Then I come back and I'll do 5 to 10 minutes of stretching, kind of mobility stuff. And then what I'll do is I'll sit down at my desk and I'll write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, and I'll write down my big 3 goals for the day. So I'll try to do, and they're simple goals. I said they're big 3 goals, but they're really, I don't know why I call them that, but they're really kind of just small goals. Like, what do I want to try to focus on today? And so then I hit that stuff, and then I go hit my shower, come out, and then I grab my coffee, make a healthy breakfast, and I'm not rushing, so I have time to actually sit. Okay, I'm gonna make this, or like I can make an omelet or something, an egg white omelet, so I can eat something healthy, relax and drink my coffee, and then get out of the door without being panicked, without being rushed. And I'm actually getting to work now about 45 minutes because I've got paperwork and stuff to do in the mornings, and the whole thing feels so much better. I don't feel rushed. I'm not like scrambling, and like when I get to work, I'm not like trying to like hammer out my notes. I've got this routine now. It really sets me up for the day. And the interesting thing is, the thing I thought was craziest, I'm sleeping about an hour to an hour and a half less, and I feel much more energy during the day. Like I'm not getting that 4 to 4:30 p.m. like starting to kind of, my eyes are like, I'm drinking tons of coffee and stuff like that. So
have you noticed like your performance at work like differing? Like you're more productive?
Oh, I think 100%, because my goal with patients is always to bring a lot of energy, try to bring motivation, give my best self, because these people are coming in trying to heal. So I've noticed that I'm able to give so much more to people because I have so much more energy to give people, and I just have a better mood. It's weird
because you filled your own glass first.
Exactly. And I don't know the science behind it, but all I know is that when I'm working with people, I'm in such a better mood that I can give so much more, and I don't get frustrated as much. Like it's like this great feeling that I've been going with, and I've been doing it for 2 weeks now, this morning routine, and it was interesting because I thought it was going to be hard to maintain, but it's been pretty easy.
Well, yeah, because you see the benefits.
Yeah.
And that was my thing. Was I mean, obviously, like I'm all about the easy wins. Camera is about to die.
Okay.
I'm all about the easy wins. So I obviously I was waking up 15 minutes before I had to leave. I wasn't gonna just start out by doing like an hour. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna wake up 10 minutes earlier, and I'm going to do something that I want to do, that I've wanted to, that's gonna help me improve. And for me, I was like, I'm just gonna read. I never used to read, so I was like, I'm gonna read for 5 minutes. And I don't care if I get through 1 page or 10 pages, I'm just gonna do that. And then I did that, started accomplishing that, and it taught me that I could do this, right? And then you're like, okay, maybe I could wake up 5 more minutes early.
Yeah.
Add 1 more thing. And I just kept doing that, kept adding things in until like now I was at the level that Zach was at, where it's like I'm waking up hour, 2 hours earlier.
Yeah.
And man, it's so true what he said about like you being able to pour into other people a lot more effectively because you've taken that time for yourself, and you've really like done things to benefit you. Yeah. So now you're good. Like I'm good. I don't need all that stuff. And now the way my morning routine looks like, I read for at least 20 minutes, just some type of book. I like to just stimulate my mind because that helps me like think throughout the day. I want to like think differently or just like have my brain turn on. Another thing I try to do is some type of mobility, like anything, just getting warmed up a bit, like hips, just some type of stretching, some type of movement. That's gonna bring me more energy. Definitely hydrate. And then I always write down 3 things I'm grateful for as well, and my 3 big targets.
Oh, nice. You have the same, almost the exact same thing, and that's crazy because I've never even talked to you about your morning routine.
The gratitude piece was the biggest game changer, and because like you do that first thing in the morning, first thing part of your day, like what do you have to be mad about anymore?
Yeah.
You know, like you realize, damn, I am lucky to be alive. I always put this down more often than not. I just put down I'm grateful for the opportunity of today.
Yeah.
Like shit, I could accomplish anything today. Who knows what's gonna happen today? I'm excited about it. I'm happy to be alive. And when you start out your day like that, no matter what happens, like what could bother you? I mean, obviously things are gonna happen, but you can easily access that. Like, oh yeah, wait, I remember that one thing that I have in my life. I remember all my family members. I remember, you know, my health. I remember that I'm good.
Yep. Yeah, and so many things to be lucky for, and it's so easy to put perspective into your life by doing that and reminding yourself, because you could say that you're grateful for things, but unless you actually physically try to actually come up with things every day and say, okay, like and then that actually stimulates the process of having to think through all the things you're grateful and say, okay, what things do I want to put down today? And you can challenge yourself each week. Don't put the same thing same day, but like you said, I put a lot of the same things down, but that's okay because I'm grateful for those things every day. So those are kind of things that I'll start to do.
The next topic I want to talk about is something that I see a lot of people struggling with. And I'm happy that Zach is here to kind of go over this for himself, because it's something that he's been able to do. Like, I see a lot of people struggling with having confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
And you know, like this whole weight loss journey, this whole fitness health journey, everyone knows that there's so much information out there. A lot of people know what to do, but they just don't believe that they can do it. And so they give up on themselves. And so I've realized, like, it's really all about just believing and having confidence in yourself that you can do it.
Yeah.
And Zach, obviously, you know, running Division I track, winning the state championship, you know, like, you've had to somehow believe in yourself. And I just wanted to ask you, like, how were you able to do that, and what would you recommend for someone else to try and work on that?
Yeah, so I think the number one thing is trying to tune other people out first off, because it really doesn't matter what other people are doing, because what they're doing doesn't really influence what you're doing. So like in track, I knew people were out there doing other workouts. Anyone could be doing anything, but you have to focus first of all 100% on what you're doing for yourself. And then that's how you can start to try to build motivation. So basically, confidence. So what you can do is, I would say, is you should journal. First of all, you should journal your successes, because the one thing that we do is with our subconscious mind, it trains on the things that we tell it to train on. It doesn't think for itself. So if you train it to pick up on your successes instead of your weaknesses, that's how you can start to train your body into being, or your mind into being confident. So basically, I think that, you know, if you're focused on your weaknesses all the time, if that's what your first thing jumps to is, ooh, I didn't do this really well, or oh, I sucked at that, then your subconscious mind is going to go and find everything during your day, and it's going to build those up. So what you've got to do is you've got to actually work at trying to turn that around the other way, where you're trying to say, okay, I'm going to journal, what did I succeed with today? Or follow up on those 3 goals that you set in the morning, waking up 5 minutes earlier. Set those 3 goals. Say, okay, which did I accomplish, or what, you know, like, did I do well towards these goals? And kind of just journal that success. And I think that's what's one of the things. And then I would say, find someone else that's around your level, and kind of build each other up, because I think that confidence also can come externally. And so, like, my confidence with doing this project has been tenfolded by just working with Mitch. And so I think finding people that are kind of like-minded and in the same kind of area that you're trying to get to, that's a way to build self-confidence as well. So
I think one thing that I saw with Zach that I would recommend for others to build confidence was like with everything you did, you're always prepared.
Yeah.
And like preparation builds confidence, because when you know going into something, you practice hard.
Yeah.
You put in the work.
Yeah.
Like confidence just comes.
That's
so
a good point.
So it's like going and doing your research, knowing that like I know I'm doing the right things.
Yeah.
And that comes also with working with somebody. And that's one thing you've always done is you work with good people in the space.
Yeah.
So you were able to be confident. And that's like when I coach people, I'm like, man, these people know what to do, but they need that person there kind of like assuring them that like I'm going down the right path.
Yep. Exactly. And that the preparation thing is like, that's a huge one. Is I knew that I wasn't usually the most talented person out there on the track, but I knew I always had a chance to win because I worked so hard. And so I think if you just put your head down and just go and put the work in, then you're gonna instill that confidence in yourself, because you see yourself working towards those goals every single day. And so I think that's a great point.
And that's what people need to realize is, I always say this, like people think like I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's like, have you been in the gym consistently? You can do it.
Yeah.
Like you are doing it. It's just like, okay, maybe we need to like tweak a few things here and there.
Yeah.
Right? Like
and I think that goes back to my first point, is training your subconscious mind to focus on the good things and not the bad things. Because, you know, I could point out a million bad things I do with my diet and my exercise, but I could also point out a lot of good things. And so I choose to focus on the positive things. And so you could even do that. If your goal is diet or exercise, write down daily, like, what did I do well today that worked towards my goal in exercise or diet? So like, I chose broccoli instead of a candy bar. Yeah, like that's a stereotypical thing, but like just writing that down and reminding yourself, oh yeah, I did that. And then that is a great way, because then you can look back, and because you've journaled it, you can look back and say, holy crap, on this week, I did 50 things towards my nutrition goal that I wouldn't have probably done if I wasn't trying. And that's a good way to forget. You didn't write all the bad things that you did. You wrote all the good things. So then your mind starts to train, like, and then you're out at a restaurant, and then you're like, well, I'm trying to write all these things down. So now you're training on the positive, and you say, okay, well, if I get a salad instead of French fries, I'll be able to write that down on my list later on. And then you've got something there. Perfect.
And I mean, you basically just explained like the easy wins philosophy. It's like, they're wins, man. Like, even if they're easy, even if they're small, you're winning. And when you focus on the wins, you become a winner.
Yep.
And winners have confidence. Winners get what they want, achieve what they want to do. And so like, I think more people just need to realize that they are winners, because if you percentaged out your wins versus your losses, you probably have pretty good percentage.
Yep.
You're doing the right things.
Yep.
You lost a couple times here, but you had 50 wins today.
Easy wins journaling. So that's our recommendation for that one.
There it is. And then the last one was a question that someone asked over Instagram, and I mean, it's kind of unique, but you can go a few ways with it. Their question was, how do you survive 3 weeks of being on the road, 3 weeks traveling, without like gym access, or you know, you're obviously going to be eating out, I guess, but I would honestly start it out by saying, don't think that you don't have gym access. Like, number one,
that's an excuse.
Yeah, number one, unless you're in the forest, there's gyms. Number two, they all have free trials. You know, like, hit them all.
Yeah.
I don't know, or pay the drop-in, the $5, $10 drop-in fee.
Yeah.
Like, you can make it happen.
Yeah. But I think that's the big thing, is that's an excuse. Not, like, you don't need equipment. We've shown you guys ways how to exercise without equipment. There's body weight. You could go walk, you could run, push-ups, anything that you can do that way. And then I would say my number one thing, if you know you're gonna be traveling, most people who are traveling for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, I don't care if it's 1 week, you know you're gonna be doing it fairly far in advance, create a plan. You know, go on Yelp in the city that you're going to, find some restaurants, or give yourself goals. Like in your morning goals, say, I'm gonna eat 3 big meals today that are gonna be consist of this, this, and this. And so have a plan before you say, okay, oh well, it's my vacation, I'll just cheat on this. Unless that's what you want, which is fine. But if you're wanting to go on a 3-week vacation and stay strict on it, you've just got to come in with the plan and the motivation to do it. So it's really, I think it just comes down to discipline.
Preparation.
Yeah. Preparation.
You know, and that's the thing too, is like if you're gone for that long, you can probably hit the store and like buy things to make your vacation a little better. And then it's also having the knowledge. Like people do these things and they have no idea where their calories should even be at. And that's why I'm like, well, I don't really know what to tell you besides like prioritize protein and veggies. Like, you know, like you got to know where you're at, because if you know where you're at and what a successful day looks like, what one doesn't look like, then you can navigate being on the road pretty easily.
Well, in these days, there's so much access to good food. Like you don't have to stop at McDonald's and get fast food. Like there's so many options available in basically every city that it really comes down to it being an excuse if you can't make it happen. And you know, you don't have to be perfect when you're on the road, but if that's your goal, then you have to execute on it, and that's what it comes down to. And it's just as simple as coming in with a plan, you know, and eliminating your excuses and kind of doing it that way. So
that's the biggest piece, is like people asking this question almost wanting me to say like, don't worry about it, you know? But it's like, if you want to make something happen, you can. You know, like it's, you got to think outside the box. Like, oh, I'm traveling and man, I wanted to hit my goals, but I couldn't work out. Did you think about everything? Did you try and hit any gym that was out there? Did you look at what you have access to eat, you know? So.
No, I agree. So, that was it. Episode 11. I think we hit 3 topics. Hopefully you guys got something out of that. We've got a boot camp coming at Aspire Athletics in July. So be on the lookout for some of that stuff coming out your way. If you want to come out and work out,
send us questions. Send us favorite workouts that you want us to do. You know, like
come work out with us. Come out to Aspire and work out with us. So you'll see a workout with one of with someone that we met through Instagram. So if you ever want to come out, talk with us and work out, it's open. All right, guys, have a good day.